say it's better not to get involved. It's easier to let the problem go unsolved. They say when there's trouble, play it safe and walk away. But I don't buy that. Let me tell you what I say. I say stand up. Stand up. You gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, stand up. Cause it's all left up to you. Oh, stand up. It's time to take a back. I wish I had you to stand up.
Yeah, so I just realized I didn't even have a microphone in front of my face. I don't know what the fuck I planned on doing.
How did I not notice that? I'm like, wait. What's he reaching for? Oh, shit, a mic.
Yeah, microphone.
That's kind of important.
Yeah, I kind of need one of these to do this whole podcast thing.
I mean, it could have picked you up from all the way.
Yeah.
It would have sounded like you on your feet that way.
That's true. You know what's interesting about this song, Stand Up, is played throughout the Still movie. That's the movie, of course, that we're discussing here tonight. What is interesting about this is I had to go to YouTube to find this song because I could not find it on Spotify or Apple Music. What's interesting also, though, is that if you look at any kind of song or video on YouTube, you know, there's always going to be comments and whatnot. And so I was curious, and that's why I was playing the song. Oh, no. I looked at some of the comments here, and I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. Really quickly here, just some of the comments that people have about this song, Stand Up, in the motion movie picture Still. Comment number 1, maybe the best, says, makes me want to have some souffle after upgrading my battle armor.
I mean, it's appropriate.
It's appropriate.
Sure.
This next comment really, I don't know if this person is trolling or if they're serious. Says, an underrated song from an underrated film. All right.
That sounds pretty genuine.
This next comment here looks interesting here. Jesus, that's long. I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but it starts off, showed the girlfriend this movie, in quotes it says, may have forced her to watch it. And she tries to believe it to be a cinematic and she too believes it to be a cinematic masterpiece.
Oh, wow.
Safe to say she will have a ring around her finger very soon, as her liking of this movie was the true test. Can't help but dance and sing along to this at the top of my lungs whenever this comes on during the movie, and makes me look forward to the credits every single time, purely because it means I can start from the beginning all over again. I'm going to stop right there.
I want to meet these people. I really want to meet these people. Oh my God. These sound like my people. I didn't write that.
Holy shit.
I really want to meet these people. Holy shit.
Another comment says, unironically, my favorite movie. Just watched it for the first time in years. It's still good to me.
Oh my God.
How did this get made? I feel like I'm getting hugged by Shaq when I hear this.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. Thing? That's what I was wondering. Like, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Oh, man. Love me some sweet Shaq and grandma.
What? Oh.
Because I guess his grandma is also in the movie. Or not his real grandma, but anyway. But it goes on to say, my new favorite movie, better than Iron Man. I think we're done here.
Okay, no, that's he's fucking around.
Gotta be. Maybe we get some honesty now. Maybe the movie was awful to many. Never mind. But I loved it as a child. Simple and cool movie, not unlike today's superhero movies. I enjoyed a lot each time I saw it, and yes, the song is powerful like the titular hero. Those are just some,
Not unlike today's movie.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
I don't like.
Those are some comments about the movie Still in relation to what many here are saying the most powerful song in the movie, Stand Up. Maybe it is the most powerful song in the movie. You and I had a slightly different experience. We're gonna get there, though.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Brendon, we do have a little bit of business here to attend to. But first of all, I'll go ahead and bring us into this thing properly. Homies, one and all, welcome back to another very special episode of the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and today I'm here once again with my good friend, trustworthy and loyal as always, Brendon. Welcome back.
Hi. How's it going?
It is going well. It is going well. You know what, Brendon? I did a lot of thinking, a lot of pontificating, if you will, and you know, a few weeks ago we went to an event called MomoCon.
Yes, we did.
It's an anime convention, primarily anime. You and I, we're not huge into anime. I think I maybe like anime more than you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for me, it's mostly just time constraints. Comic books have consumed my life for the past 5 or so years, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to delve into anime. But
It seems like you would have to pick one or the other.
yeah, you kind of have to, you know. But the whole reason I bring up MomoCon is because one of our last days there was a very interesting panel that we sat in. It was a kind of like a pseudo death battle type panel. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that fondly.
And during that panel, they had people from the audience come up to represent certain heroes or whatnot, and they would argue amongst each other to determine who would win. And there was one of the battles. It was like, I think, the Hulk versus the Jolly Green Giant. And I leaned over to you, Brendon, and I said, if you go up there and represent the Hulk, and if you do me proud, I will bestow upon you the homie title. And you did not do it. You didn't do it.
See, what happened was,
I'm listening.
There was just no way. There was just like I would end up freezing or something. I'm not a good public speaker, so it was just like, it just I don't think it would have worked out in my favor.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but just put me on blast.
Oh yeah, I did put you on blast.
Put me on straight on blast. I
did.
was not expecting this.
Yeah, you had it coming, Brendon.
I mean,
Because
you're not wrong.
yeah, I know. I am completely aware that I'm not wrong, and you had all the opportunity in the world to.
I did not. I disappointed.
You disappointed me. You could
Did
have
not
been.
bring honor to this family.
You could have been homie Brendon. You know.
Could have been.
So
Not superhero, just homie.
just home, yeah.
Oh,
but because I am such a kind and gracious homie supreme, I am going to bestow upon you the opportunity once again, if you can correctly guess or win this session of 15 questions.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
I don't
Now,
mind earning it.
all right, good. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to filibuster while I think of an appropriate character, because I just realized I don't have one in mind. So, excuse me while I scan the room looking for the appropriate.
You didn't think of this beforehand?
Hey, you don't get to cast judgment on me. I cast judgment on you.
Oh, okay.
I am the one who bestows upon
Gotcha.
you. All right. The power and privilege of being a homie supremer.
I've got one. If I have a character for you, and if you guess it right, then
Then you put your fucking phone on silent. It's gone off like 3 times, and we've only just started recording.
You know what? You have a point.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were saying?
Anyway, if you, happen to guess the character, then I do not get it. But if I'm able to stump you, if I'm able to stump you, and this is going to be a hard earn, then I can get that title.
No.
No? Okay.
No, because you are not the gatekeeper.
Oh, okay.
I am the
okay,
gatekeeper.
Okay. Fair enough. Worth a try.
It was worth the shot. I'll give you that. All right, so let's see. All right, you know what? I got one in mind for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Comic book character.
Yes.
Marvel
Yes.
has been in a live action movie.
No.
Is this a hero?
Yes.
Okay. X-Men related?
No.
Avengers related?
I'm going to say no. All right, so technically yes, but for most people, there's no known affiliation.
Gotcha. All right. Would this be related to Spider-Man?
No.
Fantastic Four?
No.
Shit. Wow. Has it appeared in a prominent video games?
No.
Is it a relatively new character within the past 5 years?
Past 5 years? No.
Shit.
You have 5 more questions, Brendon. Choose them carefully. You burn through like Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, X-Men. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to narrow it down, and it's not working. Let's see here. Damn it. Has it been in a cartoon series or movie?
A cartoon series or cartoon movie? I'm going to say no.
Is he related to Venom?
No.
Shit.
You have 3 questions left, Brendon. Okay, Brendon, I will
I
give
was
you.
like,
Do you even know the gender of this character?
that's a good point. Is it a male?
No.
Fuck. Trying to think, is not related to Spider-Man, the Avengers, X-Men. Or Fantastic Four. But is a hero. Have they changed their name, their superhero name, of like somewhat recently?
Define somewhat recently. So that's kind of irrelevant for this. So what I'll say is this character. I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
This is
I'll
I haven't been
let
able
you.
to narrow it down at all. It's just,
I'll let you null and void that question. So you still have 2 more questions.
okay. So, pretty independent, strong, independent woman. Does this character have superhuman powers?
Yes. Now all you have to do is guess between all the superpower women in Marvel Comics.
God, that has never been in a movie, never been in a cartoon, and never been in a video game.
That is all correct.
Even Ultimate Alliance was not in there.
She was not in Ultimate Alliance, nope.
Wow. God damn, what is this hard mode shit? Oh, man. That's not even fucking Marvel over there.
So if you would like to
phone in a friend,
you can burn one of your 3 guesses, and I will give you a small hint. Because you only have 1 question left, but you still have 3 guesses.
Is it Miss Marvel?
No.
No. Okay. Wow. So it just rolls out both of them.
You still have that was 1 guess, so you still
Yeah.
have 2 guesses and 1 question left.
Okay, so I do have that extra question. Shit. God damn, man. This is some hard shit. What? I'm probably going to kick myself afterwards.
I think you will.
Oh, probably.
Yep.
Oh, so superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the Avengers.
Nope.
Not in the X-Men. Not in the Fantastic Four. Not related to Spider-Man.
Nope.
But definitely a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Shit. Is this a character, that new character from the last 10 years?
No.
Wow. Well, there goes my one more question.
Yep.
I got 2 guesses.
You got 2 guesses.
And then my
Yep.
score. Can't talk no more shit.
You can't talk no more shit.
Oh. Put me in my goddamn place. Shit. Fuck.
You have your pride and your homie status on the line, Brendon.
It's not looking great. I'm telling you. I'm be honest with you. It's not.
I gotta be honest with you. You really burned through the first half of your questions.
I know. I fucking know. I was trying to narrow it down to something, and it just was not working.
Well, you eliminated a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So, they can't ask.
Nope.
No.
Now, like I said, you have 2 guesses left. You can sacrifice a guess, and you can either get a hint or ask 1 more question.
That's fair. I'm gonna sacrifice a guess. Are they related to the Guardians?
No.
Oh,
That's a good guess. I see where you're going with that, but no. So now
who
you
is
just
this
have
character?
you just have 1 more.
She's just like,
You're gonna be so upset with yourself.
oh my god. Oh, this is terrible. Why are you doing this to me? Why do you hate me? This is for talking shit.
Yeah, this is what that's for, I guess. I guess this is payback. Caleb is having a great time with this. You gonna let him win like this?
It doesn't look like I have a choice. Oh, man, I have one guess.
You have one guess. Go ahead and throw that blindly up.
Electra.
That is a good guess. You're close, but no.
What the fuck?
No. You're close in the sense of like proximity and kind of relations.
Jessica Jones?
It was Jessica Jones.
God damn it. No,
it was Jessica Jones.
Oh my God. Son of a bitch.
When you kept looking back, I was like, maybe he'll look at the Alias book, but I was like, no, it's too high.
I never think about her when I think of Marvel characters. I barely even know anything about her.
You asked if they were in a movie, if they were in a cartoon. You didn't ask about a TV show. Yep.
Oh, everything but
everything.
I've named everything but she's in.
And then with the teams, you said every team but the Defenders.
Oh my God. Because I forget they're a team. I forget that's a team.
Yeah. And like I said, she has loose affiliations with the Avengers because technically in her canon, she was a member back in the day.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I haven't even...
And then when you ask the question about, did she change her name? When she was an Avenger, she went by the name of Jewel. But then once, the whole shit with the Purple Man went down, she left the Avengers and dropped the whole superhero shit and went to detective work.
See, I know nothing nothing about her. I might have guessed it if I'd actually watched the damn show. But
it's a good show. Really good show. Really good book, too. Alias by Brian Michael Bendis. Really good book.
Yeah, those Netflix shows are on the list to watch.
Wait, have you not seen any of those?
No.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's shameful.
Jessica Jones Season 1, all of Daredevil, Punisher Season 1, and I will also say Luke Cage Season 1. Now, those are shows you need to watch.
I watched 2 episodes of Daredevil.
Despicable.
Yeah.
Despicable.
Yeah, it's pretty shameful.
Well maybe next time, Brendon.
Yeah. If I had to burn that damn shit. I did get it in 3 guesses.
Yep. Yeah, that's the sad thing. You did get it in 3 guesses. Yeah. Oh, man. You were so close.
So close. Like, Electra, fuck. Like, who is... Electra doesn't really do Avenger stuff. Mm-hmm. She doesn't... I mean, I guess she kind of, associates with Spider-Man here and there with Daredevil, but not really.
Yep.
Fuck. Okay. God damn it.
Oh.
I'm so mad. But I never think of her, so I don't think I would have ever, unless...
She would never cross your mind?
No, because I don't... She's just not someone that is up there on the list for me as far as, I didn't grow up with her.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar. When they came out with the show, I'm like, fuck is Jessica Jones? I knew Daredevil and Electra.
Well, and she's in that weird space too because she's not a new character, but she's not old either. Because new would be 2010, 2012 Miles Morales, 2015 Riri Williams. Those would be new characters. Old characters would be 1960 Spider-Man or Fantastic Four. Those would be old characters. She came out in 04, 05. You know what I mean? So
she's newer than. Somewhat new. Yeah. Newer than I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
But you put up a good fight, Brendon. Nothing to be ashamed of. You put up a good fight.
Still ashamed. Still damn ashamed of messed up my damn record. These are so much easier when you're not actually here as well.
Yeah, that's true. The pressure isn't on you then.
It's just your mind doesn't just blimp out.
Right.
Why aren't you guessing this character? It's so obvious. Fuck, I just escaped my mind.
Yeah. Well, we are here tonight, folks, to discuss a movie that I'm sure is near and dear to the hearts of everyone. Mm-hmm. We're here to discuss the movie starring one of the greatest actors of our generation. I mean, honestly, someone who put forth just an Oscar-worthy performance.
Oh, yes.
With every single line of dialogue. I mean, this is just the creme de la creme of acting and directing.
So much range.
So much range, right?
And emotion.
And man, everything about this movie is just chef's kiss. We're here to discuss the 1997 instant classic movie. Steel. So
instant classic.
I want you all to think about this. For all you homies out there who were maybe too young to have known about this movie, or who didn't see this movie back in the day because you were either too young or didn't exist, I want you guys to think about this. In 1997, we got Mortal Kombat Annihilation. we got Spawn.
Spawn's good.
We got Steel.
Spawn, not perfect.
Yeah. Listen, compared to Annihilation and
the
Steel,
bar is not high.
The bar is not high at all. Steel is a goddamn Martin Scorsese masterpiece compared to Steel and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. All right.
I still love me some Annihilation just for the sheer ridiculousness and the horrible, just everything.
But, I say all that just to say that, man, maybe I was a pretentious child. I don't know. It's very possible. It is very possible. But
like, I'm not watching that shit.
But that's the thing. I watched the shit because I had nothing else to watch. There was nothing.
True.
Yeah,
that's right. This is a rare instance where you did grow up with it and I did not.
Yeah, this is one of those. Absolutely. I grew up with this Steel movie, even though I didn't want to. A few fun facts about this movie. First of all, this movie came out August 15th in the year 1997. Now, the year I don't want to focus on so much as the date. Why? Because the good homie Kevin's birthday is August 15th. Therefore, this is now his movie.
Oh, damn. Damn. I mean, Snakes on a Plane came out on mine, so I can't say shit.
Wow. I gotta look at my birthday. Hopefully I got something good.
It's close to mine.
It is. Well, mine is between yours and Kevin's.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's always, it seems to be a pattern there. There's always the best movies in the world come out during that time.
Yeah, absolutely. But also some other fun facts that I was able to find out about this movie was this movie actually had, you can tell, it had a very modest budget of $16 million. Oh. Yeah, very much a shoestring budget.
I would have said it was less.
It had a box office gross of $1.7 million.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. This, somehow, on a shoestring budget, they still lost about $14 million.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got $1 million worth of people to go see it, though. Somehow.
I mean, yeah. That's the way to look at it. Yeah.
I guess it's just like people like me that just want to go see some schlock.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, why not? I'm sure there were a lot of kids who really looked up to Shaq, and Kazam came out in 96, so Shaq was very busy. Mm-hmm. So that's probably what happened there.
That makes sense now.
The IMDb for this movie is a 2.9 out of 10. And the Rotten Tomatoes score is a 12%. This movie isn't good, folks.
What are you talking about?
This is one of those rare occurrences where it's hard to find people who like this movie unless you go under the Steel soundtrack on YouTube and look for a stand. And look for stand-up.
Those people in the YouTube comment section loved this movie.
Well, what's also funny was that earlier today, in preparation for this, I did a few things. One, I brushed up on his comic book origin. I was reading a little bit of the the Death and Return of Superman omnibus, which is where Steele makes his first appearance and some of his bigger appearances, and also in the 52 omnibus as well. He has quite a bit to do in that book also.
Didn't know he came back for 52.
Yep. But I was also looking, and I was telling you those scores about the IMDb score of 2.9 out of 10, and the Rotten Tomatoes score of it was also really low, like 12% or something like that. What's interesting is that on Amazon, this movie has a rating of 4.7 out of 5.
So is this like the opposite of review bombing? It's like review glowing?
So,
or
okay, so I promise, guys, we're not going to spend this whole episode just shitting on the movie. Well, yeah, we are. But we're not going to spend the whole episode talking about what other people had to say. But it, for me, was mind-blowing, right? Because it would be like if I looked up, like, The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola classic, and I saw nothing but people shitting on the movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is what this is like for me. And so it blew my mind that 354 people on Amazon collectively decided that this movie is damn near perfect.
Wow.
4.7 out of 5.
Fucking
and so I had to see, like, what they said about this movie. And I mean, I thought for sure that it was just like a bunch of reverse trolling,
Yeah, a bunch of hipsters or something going on there.
I mean, and here's the weird thing, right? Looking through some of these reviews, some of these people are, at least to a degree, familiar with the comic books, and they still were giving it like 5 stars, 4 stars. The lowest score I could find was 3 stars for this movie. On Amazon, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they're just reviewing the quality of the DVD. Like maybe that's it.
Or like how well it was put on there, the transfer, or like
maybe
special features.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that was just a few interesting tidbits.
That is very interesting.
I thought so too. Yeah, because I
mean, maybe it's just like the nostalgia glasses, and because I could see, and just going back to see how seeing that you can look past all of that and have nostalgia and the ridiculousness on top of it if you're looking for that.
You know what? You bring up a good point, but I guess for me, all nostalgia isn't good nostalgia. Like, yeah. I mean, it just isn't. Like, if you like,
it can betray you for sure.
Oh, well, nostalgia that you think is good can definitely betray you.
Yeah.
Well, for example, even with this movie, still, I knew I didn't like it as a kid. But again, I watched it because what the fuck else was I supposed to watch?
Yeah. It was like it was available. The internet didn't exist to tell you
right
how fucked up it was.
Yes. And I was always into superheroes and guys, this is what I had back then.
See, this is the thing. I didn't even know that this I remember vaguely seeing this as a kid. But I did not realize that this was the comic book character Steel from Superman.
Yeah.
I did not put those two together at all. And I thought you were joking with me when you told me. Like, I literally didn't. I sat there for an hour thinking that you were fucking with me.
That was great because I wish I could have gotten your reaction on tape because you thought I was fucking with you.
Oh, God, so much. I'm like, no, you're fucking with me. Like, you're just trying to fuck with me right now. I'm just going to continue watching this movie.
Yeah, I had to convince you I was telling the truth.
Like, because he got the hammer, and I'm like, oh, his name is Steel, and he got the hammer. Is that like a subtle, like, reference to the comic book character Steel?
And I was like, well, yeah, Brendon, this is the comic book character Steel.
Like, nah, no fucking way it is. There's no fucking way. He doesn't even come close to looking like him.
Nowhere close. Nowhere close.
Because that S symbol is pretty prominent on Steel.
So it was yeah. I have a few theories about that, because first of all, the entire costume that they put poor Shaq in is terrible. It's the ugliest rubber costume.
What are you talking about, poor Shaq? You know he was elated to do this shit. Are you kidding me? He was fucking just the shit. Those shit-eating grins that we saw in that movie, those were all real. He had that the whole time they were putting that on.
God damn it, Shaq. And, the helmet was probably the worst part of the outfit.
God.
And you made a comment about how he looks way different on the movie cover.
Yes.
He is not wearing the helmet on the movie cover.
No, he's not.
He can't wear that helmet. No one would take that shit serious.
No one would have bought it or saw it. I would have, just because of how ridiculous it would have.
Right.
I mean, maybe kids, it might have made more sense to put him in the mask. Because kids would have saw the mask and like, oh,
Well, I'm not saying that that I was representative of an average kid, but I would like to think maybe I was. But when I saw that movie, even in '97, with the limited, technological features that we had back then, when I saw Steel and I saw Shaq in that goofy ass costume with that stupid ass helmet. I felt secondhand embarrassment, but I didn't know what that meant when I was 9 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the best description. You're just like, you felt embarrassed for him.
Yes.
But that's the thing. Especially at the time, maybe looking back at it, I don't think he was embarrassed. I don't think he was. He's a Superman nerd.
He is a Superman nerd. He is.
Through and through. He's got a Superman logo on his arm. He's just, everything he has is Superman. So to even have a Superman-related character that he plays, he was just like, yeah.
It seems like it took forever for Hollywood to realize, hey, if we read these comic books, we might be able to make a better movie.
Just maybe.
It might be possible.
It might be.
If you
actually took the stories that these characters belong to,
we might be able to make something work here. Okay, so to the movie's credit, to a degree, I guess, I have to give them a little bit of a break, because if they wanted to tell the comic book story of John Henry Irons, then that would involve the death of Superman, technically. They would have to have a Superman in the movie and kill him. And here's the problem, guys. You put Superman in damn near any movie, he's going to steal the show.
Oh, yeah. Steal the show.
I'll give you one. Don't test your luck. Do not test your luck.
Give it time.
Yeah.
Give it time.
But so that's one problem, and you can't, and there's no way, especially in '97, that you're going to introduce Superman for, if I had to guess, maybe 5 or 10 minutes just to kill him. There is no fucking way. Also, in '97,
metal as fuck.
And in '97, ironically enough, our Superman would have been Nicolas Cage.
Oh my God! I was just thinking that. I'm like, was that during the time of Superman Lives?
This was during the long, tumultuous process of trying to get that movie made.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Do you think there's any kind of any kind of connection there? Like offshoot? We're gonna do this Superman Lives
I
movie?
think that in all honesty, though, they were trying to still get the concept of that movie down, the Superman movie in the '90s, that is, but it wasn't until 2 years later, in '99, when they really started to get the ball rolling with it, because that's when we had Will Smith drop out completely. Well, he didn't even approach it, because Will Smith was approached to play Superman at one point. and he was supposed to play Neo. So Will Smith
Oh,
turned down. He turned down
Wow.
Superman and Neo to go be in the Wild Wild West, which ended up having the giant fucking spider.
That's the same. Oh shit! That's the same director.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Okay. It's all coming together now. it's all coming together. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
the same. Wow. That makes so much sense now with the giant spider.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Peters, that WB executive, said that, damn it, there's going to be a giant fucking spider in one of these fucking
He
WB
wanted that
movies.
fucking giant spider.
Yes. And he eventually got it in Wild Wild West.
I'm not mad at the giant spider in the Wild Wild West because I'm kind of a mark for giant robots and spiders. So I'm just like, as a little kid, I'm just thinking, I like this. Like, this is something I would put in a movie.
Wild Wild West was a movie that I watched and then immediately forgot about.
Oh God! Oh man!
I mean, it wasn't that it was terrible; it was just forgettable. Like, there's nothing memorable about it. You know, Will Smith turned in a performance,
it's a
and
Will Smith performance.
yeah. But man,
Was that his last? Well, I guess Men in Black would be. The sequels. Last comedic performance. Because he hasn't done one in a long time.
I mean, if you count the Bad Boys films, then
Yeah, that's kind of skirts the line between their action comedies, but
yeah. Anyways, back to back to Shaq here. So it is important to remember that the licensing rights at this time were all underneath the WB umbrella. So whatever they wanted to do, they technically had free reign to do. This is the advantage at the time that WB had that DC had that Marvel didn't. You know, Marvel was actually going through a rough time in '97.
Yeah. Not so great.
Yeah, I mean, and looking at DC at this fucking movie, they were going to a rough time too to make this goddamn movie.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of interesting things about this movie and about about the suit, about the origin, about all the little things that were changed. And back in the 90s, it was very commonplace for them to just take a comic book and just gut it, you know, and then just leave it a shell.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty common.
Pretty
Unfortunately.
commonplace. Yeah, unfortunately. So really quick here, the elevator pitch for the origin of Steel is that John Henry Irons is his actual name, but when we first kind of are introduced to the character, he's actually going by the name of Henry Johnson, and he's doing so just kind of like as a pseudonym, as a name to get away, like an alias basically. And he's working in construction and whatnot, and basically he's trying to steer some of the youth in this neighborhood away from like crime and drugs and all that. You gotta remember, this is the early 90s, and you know,
Say no to drugs.
yeah, you say no to drugs era, and you know, just the whole thing about, you know, inner city youth getting into gangs and whatnot. Comic books and media in general really wanted to kind of drive home that point in the 90s. He was created by Louis Simonson, who I think is a really, really tremendous comic book creator, as well as Walter Simonson. I love his Thor run. Anyways, so Louis Simonson is the main creator of this character here, and I really like what she does with him. Now, is it a little bit tropey? Yeah, but what we get, I think, is also still really effective. What ends up happening, guys, is that we all know that Superman dies. He's killed by Doomsday. He and Doomsday actually kill each other. And in the aftermath of his death is really where things pick up with this whole arc, because there is no Superman. And so in his in the wake of his death, there's a lot of kind of pretenders who want to come forth and kind of fill in that position. And that's where we get like Hank Henshaw, the cyborg Superman. That's where we get Superboy. Yeah.
So was he not Kryptonian?
Superboy?
Yeah.
So he is half clone.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
They loved clones in the 90s.
They did, man.
Holy
The
shit.
clones were all the big. They were all the rave in the 90s.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Ben Reilly with Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you had
the Clone Saga.
The clone, yeah.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
and Superman. And Batman didn't have any clones.
Well,
I know he had he's got the family. But
yeah, surprisingly, no exact clones for Batman. Terry McGinnis is it's like kind of a biological DNA son clone of him.
Is he?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. I'll be damned.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of like what happens in the wake of Superman's death. But the way that John Henry Irons comes about his Steel is, come to find out, some of the youth that he's trying to help out, they're good kids and all that, but maybe close to getting swept up into the wrong thing. They were walking home one day and they get caught in the crossfire between like two rival gangs, and one of the rival gangs has experimental weapons. And one of the kids gets shot and killed, and that really affects John, in a way, because because he's the one who told those kids to go home at that time that drive-by happened, and two, he recognizes those weapons. So come to find out, he's not any kind of ordinary construction worker. He actually was like a researcher, almost like a, not an arms dealer, but an arms manufacturer type guy. And he helped develop a lot of these really dangerous experimental
Almost like
weapons.
a Tony Stark.
Very much like kind of like a Tony Stark thing. And also kind of like a Tony Stark thing because he feels guilt over what his weapons have done and what people are now doing with his weapons. And he also makes a suit.
Iron.
Yeah.
And his name is Iron.
Yep. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah. Long story short, what he ends up doing is, because of his technical prowess and know-how, he does develop a highly advanced suit, and just like his namesake, he decides to christen it with a big ass hammer that he uses also a lot. And so he wears this. Really, I promise you guys, the suit in the comic books way cooler.
Yes.
Way cooler.
Admittedly, I thought this guy, because I knew nothing about Steel. Nothing. I really don't know too much about Superman as a whole. Not a Superman guy. I thought this guy was a robot when I first saw him. I thought
I can see that.
he was literally like a robotic android version of Superman that just happened to look cool.
There was one moment, I think this may have been during the Grant Morrison era. During the Grant Morrison era of JLA, Steel was a big part of that book too. It's also a really good book. But I think it was during that run where like he kind of had like, he definitely became more superhero-ish, even more so because he had like bio-organic living steel tissue at that point.
Interesting.
So and also if you think about the fact that Grant Morrison, when he was writing Justice League, we were kids. So if you picked up an issue of Justice League during that time, then you would definitely think that, this guy is a robot.
Yeah.
So that's probably where that came from, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I don't know why. I guess I just wanted him to be a robot.
He does also look like a robot in the suit.
This is my self reflection, or not reflection, but projection of just like, oh, this guy looks cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even think to stop and think like, oh, he might be this guy in a suit. No, definitely a robot. Definitely, like there's Cyborg Superman right there.
Right.
He's definitely all the robot instead of just half the robot like this guy is.
It was also interesting to note that for like his first few appearances, he was known as the Man of Steel, because like it's kind of like everybody kind of took a moniker from Superman, So like I think
was there a speeding bullet guy?
No, I think that Superboy was known as like the last son of Krypton,
Oh yeah.
And I forget what the others were known as, but I mean, so yeah, everybody kind of had like their own little kind of Superman moniker, and so Steel was known as the Man of Steel, and it wasn't until Superman came back to life and actually, just shortened it to, why don't you just call yourself Steel? You know?
Makes sense.
Yeah. And so like his whole thing was in the beginning for his first arc, to the movie's credit, his first arc in the comic books was to he wanted to stand in place for Superman and to do good in his name, because Superman had previously saved his own life, saved John's life, and so he wanted to repay the favor. And he had asked Superman at this previous time, what can I do to thank you? And Superman, you know, just in the Superman fashion said something like, you know, just don't let it go to waste. Mm-hmm. And so this was John's way of kind of paying it forward also. But of course, he also wanted to get those experimental guns off the street and save the youth in his community. A very bold and noble take. John is much more stoic and a lot less fucking goofy in the comic books.
I would imagine.
Yep. And the few similarities that I named is where the similarities begin and end between the movie and the comic books.
I mean, it seemed relatively faithful. Like from what what you said, like, yeah, that tracks. That tracks to the movie. That tracks. Okay, yeah. It checks all the boxes, like, for the most part. But just the tone.
Yeah, the tone. I think the tone is really what fucks it up.
There's a lot of things that fuck.
There's a lot of things that fuck this movie up. Also, when you consider this, and this I think was commonplace in the 90s, Kenneth Johnson, I have to look this guy up again here. He was the director here. But the reason why I wanted to look him up is because, that's Kenny Rogers. But the reason why I wanted to look up Kenneth Johnson is because I'm pretty sure that this gentleman is not black, and the reason why I mentioned that is because when you have a movie that is supposed to be a superhero reflection of like black communities, then you probably should have somebody from that culture and community
that might have the experience.
Yeah,
maybe.
And that's how you avoid getting movies like this. You know, I don't know, because like you look at movies like Meteor Man, and I mean that was Robert Townsend through and through. And you know, have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh, okay. It was because that's a super black movie. It came out in like '93, if I had to guess. You should look up like the BVS mock trailer. It's like instead of Batman versus Superman, it's like Meteor Man versus Blank Man. It's quite hilarious. Oh my god,
that would be hilarious.
It is hilarious.
All you had to say was Blank Man.
Yeah. It's great shit. I'll show you afterwards.
Okay.
But you know, with movies like Meteor Man, you know, that had Robert Townsend as the lead actor, and he was the director. You know, he was a black man, and you can tell that he didn't have a lot of money to work with because, I mean, Black Hollywood really wasn't too big of a thing back then, but he made it work with what he had, and it felt authentic to that degree. Whereas this movie, it just feels artificial.
Yeah, just like what someone else would see looking in, like, from the outside, just kind of like, but in a corny way, like what they perceive it would be, like, you know.
It also doesn't help that even besides those elements of like identifying and projecting to the black community, this movie also has terrible dialogue.
Oh my god! If you can even hear or understand it. Half the time between Shaq and that one guy
and the one henchman. Yeah, because think about it, guys. Thankfully, we watched this movie on Apple TV, and thankfully it comes already with the subtitles on, so I didn't have to fumble looking for them, because you have Shaquille O'Neal who talks like this all the time, and you know and then you have this other bad henchman. Where's the voice? He talks like this.
Yes.
No.
What did he say?
And so, between those two characters,
I made out yours.
Couldn't understand a goddamn thing that was going on. So the subtitles really were the hero of this movie.
Yeah. And between the stupid analogies from the villain guy,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Don't eat the hot. Don't. What was it? Fucking something about a fucking hot dog. Don't be a hot dog.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, eat the hot dog. Don't be a hot dog.
Don't eat the hot dog. Don't be the hot dog.
That is a literal line from the movie, folks. And listen, I think that would be a great line if the director and the actors were in on the joke.
Sure.
But they took that shit so serious.
The straightest you could possibly do. Like he just said the most profound thing ever.
Right. Like it was just the most persuasive line of dialogue.
He was so
ever.
proud of himself after he said it too.
Yeah. and the guy he was talking to, the henchman, he was just dumbfounded. I would be dumbfounded too, but because it makes no fucking sense.
Like, does this fucker just tell me not to be a hot dog?
Right.
What?
What am I supposed to say to that?
Like, how do I respond to that?
Don't be a hot dog.
The fuck?
Fuck that guy and his hot dog metaphor.
Speaking of that guy who he was talking to, the shit that he was wearing.
Oh yeah, the other henchman guy.
Yeah, the more like yeah. With the eye patch.
Yeah, he had like a Slick Rick eye patch. He had a grill in his mouth, which I didn't know that. I'm pretty sure he did, which is weird because I didn't think grills weren't a thing in '97.
No.
And for those of you who are familiar with old school wrestling, he had like a Jeff Jarrett onesie and one
It's
scene.
like suspenders made out of leather.
That kind of cross in the middle of the chest.
They just
you know?
come together in the middle.
Yeah.
He looked like some kind of weird stripper.
Yeah, it was like BDSM meets gang play. It was weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. Like, I guess you can chalk it up to the 90s. But even then, like, fuck, I don't remember anybody wearing that kind of shit.
It was almost like what Joel Schumacher did, but with less money and even less creativity.
Yeah.
Because, in the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, all the gangs were like super fucking done up, to the point of ridiculousness.
Yeah, with the neon colors.
Oh
my God, they love the fucking neon.
I'm like, it takes you guys an hour to get ready just to go out and terrorize people.
That reminds me, like, what Batman were we on in 97? Was that Forever?
No, 97 is the year that Batman and Robin came out.
Oh
That
my
is
God.
another movie that came out
God.
in 1997.
Yes,
97
the year of our Lord.
97 was a cursed year.
No, it's the best year. The best year.
So we had Spawn, Batman and Robin, Steel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, all in the same year.
And I'm sure there's more. We're gonna find out there's more.
God damn it.
What a movie. What a blockbuster season.
Jesus Christ. That's why millennials are so jaded. It's because we had years like 1997. All right. Yeah. That's why we're so fucking jaded now. Anywho,
Cynical.
Yeah, we're super cynical.
It's just gonna end up like fuck.
Yeah.
Steel or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Or Annihilation.
So the way this movie starts off, I didn't remember at all. You and I both thought the same thing. It looked like fucking Swamp Thing emerging from the trees. But it was
just a fucking tank.
Yeah, it was just a tank.
Oh my God, okay.
And then they use experimental weapons to debilitate the tank.
Yeah, I'm like, why? And it was supposed to be some test run.
Some test run for weapons, and they never come and outright say that John, Shaq's character, the lead, built the guns.
See, that's why I was surprised because they never, and I couldn't between the dialogue anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't gather that he made that.
They don't. I don't think they really outright say it, but they also hint that he had a role in their creation, or at least in the experimentation of them.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, if in this iteration of Steel, if John didn't make the weapons, then who the fuck did? Because he is not like a technical engineer. He's a military.
Yeah,
he's a soldier.
Just a military soldier. That's why I didn't get that. He's on the field, so they have. Is he also making the weapons that he's using?
Yeah,
like he had a uniform on, and just a soldier's uniform, and there was no anything
which was
signifying that he's any kind of researcher or manufacturer, like whatever you would call him.
Which, by the way, seeing Shaq in a military suit, the funniest shit ever.
Oh my
Holy shit!
I was even asking you, like, is there height maximum that limit? You would think there would be.
So for sure, there's got to be an Air Force, like especially if you want to be a fighter.
Oh
pilot.
yeah,
there's got to be.
There's some strict limitations for that.
Yeah,
like.
Sure. But this was not Air Force. So I don't know about the other branches though.
You would think being that tall, you would be like
there should be a limit on it, not because of any physical limitations, but just because of how goofy Shaq looked. People 7 foot tall should not be the military.
No.
They look fucking ridiculous. Shaq looked like
walking around with children,
especially since Shaq was he was a lot thinner back then, you know,
yes.
and so he looked like Slender Man in the military.
He just looked like he just took like tree trunks and just tree limbs and just kind of stuck them and put a freaking uniform on it.
You're right.
Like, what am I looking at? Why?
He looks so awkward. And throughout the whole movie, he looks awkward.
Oh, God.
But,
I don't know if that's just from him being large or just him.
So, let's take a step back here. Shaq being cast as the lead in this movie, that just had to be based off of his popularity at the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I say this without due respect. Shaq, I think, is outside of the movies, like just when you see him being himself, he's incredibly charismatic, incredibly funny. He seems to be like a really, really cool, funny, nice guy who's very generous and very giving. And he seems to be like one of the better celebrities out there, you know. But without that being said, he has no business being an actor. I'm sorry, Shaq. That's not for you.
I'm trying to think of what other movies he's been in, and this has been bothering me.
So those were the only 2 movies that he starred in.
Okay.
He has had roles in other movies like Good Burger.
Oh yeah,
and,
like small bit parts. That makes sense.
But I think after Kazam and Steel, they were like, you know what, maybe the Shaq Attack experience is over.
It's so weird because he was relatively decent in Kazam.
He was a lot better in Kazam. I don't know what happened.
I haven't watched, maybe it is nostalgia, but I have not watched Kazam in a good long time.
But, you know, in Kazam, right, like his performance isn't good there, but he tries.
Yeah, he tries a little bit.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of range.
Yeah, and like he puts, you know, body motion into it, and he tries to deliver the lines the best he can. You know, and he puts effort into it, and you think
and you can hear what he's saying.
Yeah, well, he enunciates a lot better there, and you know, you come across feeling like with Kazam, maybe if we put him through some acting lessons and, you know, through some some motions, you know, lessons, he can come across as a halfway okay actor at some point. But then you get to Steel, and all that shit goes out the window.
What I think does like Kazam better is that he's playing a genie,
A rapping genie,
which 90s. That makes, you know, I'll give it a pass. It's the 90s. Everything gets a pass in the 90s. But he's playing a genie, so it's larger than life kind of character. It's supposed to be kind of this like huge, like mythical looking dude, and he's not walking around normally with these people that are supposed to be like his equal. Like you see him walking around in Kazam, but he's just like he is what he is. He's this giant. And he's got all these little kids around him flocking towards him, and he's like not wearing normal clothing for the most part, as far as I remember.
Well, you're right. But it is weird, right, that he fit in more as a genie than he does as a superhero.
Unfortunately, I mean
that also brought another thought to mind. We've never had a basketball player be a good actor.
No. I mean, Jordan.
No.
The,
Jordan was terrible. Okay, listen,
Come
he's the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time. Sorry, LeBron, but even Jordan was awful in Space Jam.
maybe it's just like. Just looking back at it, and then just like I'm so used to that performance.
Well, also Jordan didn't want to be there. Jordan didn't want to be anywhere.
No, he did not. He just got through his fucking lines and just went to fuck home.
Yeah,
Can I just like say the thing and
and go.
and
also,
my check?
And also, like, you and I, we're not actors, but I think that we can both agree that acting is a lot harder than we think it is. Now, imagine acting with nothing there. You're not acting with Bugs Bunny on screen. That's done in post, in VFX.
Yeah.
So
I think it helped him, not to derail it too much, but I think it helped him because he was playing the straight man while obvious Looney Tunes were around him.
He's playing the straight man. What else is he gonna play?
I mean, they did what they had with what they had. They knew what they were dealing with, and they used it to their advantage.
Holy shit. Shaq might be the best actor out of all the basketball players.
Who other?
LeBron was in Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
The 2-hour-long commercial for WB.
LeBron tried a little bit.
He did. LeBron did try. He did.
Try.
Yeah.
It's just the movie around him sucked ass.
And he's not a good actor either.
I mean,
but he tried.
They don't pay him. Well, I mean,
they pay him a shit ton.
They don't pay him to act. He's not. That's not his day job. Okay.
There's probably other basketball players, I'm sure, who've been around in movies, but
was Dennis Rodman in the movie?
Oh my gosh, Dennis Rodman might be the best.
What was he in?
He was in Double Team.
I don't know if I saw that.
That was a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
I don't think I saw that.
Really? No. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman? You didn't see that classic?
No. Oh, shit.
I'll add it to the list.
Oh, fuck. Oh, damn. Well, shit. I had to open my mouth.
And, Dennis Rodman, he's got to be the best. And it's not because he's a good actor. Dennis Rodman just has more charisma than 99.9% of people to ever walk this goddamn planet. That's the only reason why. That's an
interesting individual there. He got the dictator of North Korea to like him.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? What? How?
Yeah, so Rodman might take the cake on that one. Anyways, back to Steel here. Dear Lord, that we did not get far before we completely derailed.
We got to the opening scene. We haven't even made it to past the dialogue of the opening scene, bro.
Holy shit.
All right.
Okay.
My bad. All right.
Okay. All right.
We could do this.
Reel this thing on in here. Okay.
We got
this. No problem. So
fuck.
What ends up happening here is that they have this experimental sound weapon that was made by who the fuck knows.
It's implied that it was irons.
Yeah, it's implied.
Implied.
Yeah, and he has this military contractor, I guess, there with him to see like the testing of the weapon, and then there's like what is he, a general or like the bad guy, Judd Nelson's character?
He was. I don't think
he was in charge of that group of soldiers.
What did he yell before? That'll tell us what rank he was, because he was like he yelled the rank of the guy before he shot.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like Major Tom. No, Major Tom. I don't even know why that came out.
Yeah, he started singing Major Tom. Yeah.
I just wanted to say Major, and Major Tom just kind of blurted out after. Yeah, David Bowie was David Bowie.
The character's name was Nathaniel, played by Judd Nelson. But I don't remember what rank was yelled out. But anyway, this guy, he takes the sound emitter, right? Because he wants to impress the contractor lady. Mm-hmm. And he turns that motherfucking knob all the way to the max. All the way up.
All the way up.
And he's about to press the button, and Shaq goes like,
no, and just like leaps and it's like.
Yeah,
kind of late. Like,
a little too late.
Like
the sound emitter goes off, destroys the target it's intended to, but then it also reverberates and destroys the building that they're
starts
in.
Bouncing off like a fucking ping pong. Like, is that? I guess it's sound bounces. But
I mean, but that's I
think
suppose.
after it hit the initial target, and
It would dissipate.
it would dissipate, and then the most you would have is like kind of like your ears bleeding or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe it keeps going, but no, it bounces.
I don't know, science.
Yeah.
90s science.
But when it bounces back and hits the building they're in, it collapses and falls on multiple people, and it kills one person, they say, and it paralyzes Shaq's friend and the other soldier. She goes by the nickname Sparks for some reason.
It's just his nickname for whatever reason.
And then we get the first of many gratuitous eye-rolling acts of strength from Shaq.
Yes.
Because he's 7'2" or whatever he is, he has to...
Big bastard, and he has super strength.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that causes him to have... Like, I'm sure this motherfucker is strong. He's...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's 7 feet tall. Yeah, but the things that he does in this movie... Especially with this giant slab of wall that's solid concrete.
It's preposterous.
It's like, there's no way any human could do this at all. Even if you're a strong man.
Yeah, and it's like, if they wanted to lean into, John Henry Irons being like the folklore John Henry, then they probably should have actually leaned into that more if that's what they wanted to do. But yeah, so he tries to lift this giant concrete slab off of his friend.
No, he didn't try. He just does pretty fucking easily.
Yeah. Well, maybe it didn't weigh that much because she looked relatively fine. There was like a scratch on her head.
Yeah. But she was paralyzed.
She's just paralyzed.
She's crushed.
Like, goddamn. And it is also hilarious because the next scene, and probably we're gonna fast forward to some of this here, but the next scene they were in court and Shaq is on the stand, and the prosecutor is like, and so Mr. Irons, can you tell us who was responsible for the incident that took place? It was him over there.
You gotta cross your eyes when you gotta do the whole Aries Spears impression.
And he just straight up fucking sells that guy out.
He just tattles on this.
Oh yeah,
like that motherfucker right there.
That motherfucker over there. Him sitting right there.
Just no hesitation.
Yeah,
none.
It was his fault, and he didn't file his taxes last year either.
It's just like, and he cheated on his wife.
He cheated on her.
And God damn.
And he's been stealing time from work. This motherfucker is trifling.
This motherfucker. He was quick to tattle on this motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Like, damn, Shaq, you don't know snitches get stitches?
Yeah.
But he tried to. I mean, this dude.
It's funny though, right? Because this whole, I guess it's like a court-martialing trial.
Yeah.
This whole thing sends Nathaniel down a villain's path like a motherfucker.
Oh my God. He goes from just like, he's kind of a douche, like to, what the fuck? Just the looks that he gives.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly just walking in a room. Like, dude, you don't have to walk in a room just eyes first.
Right.
Like, we get it. You know you're an asshole.
Yeah. It's like the movie really thinks that its audience is dumb. And again, this movie was clearly intended for children.
Oh, yeah.
But the way that they overemphasize everything. They overemphasize Shaq's strength in this movie. They overemphasize the villain is a bad guy. And
the only thing they didn't overemphasize was his height. It's because it was real.
Yeah, because they didn't have to. They didn't have to do that. Yeah,
and the scene after, because you would think he would have been arrested after.
Yeah, and he was responsible for someone's death.
And he just in the hallway comes bowing up to Shaq, and given this dude is like 5'8" at best.
Yeah.
And He's looking up at Shaq, trying to intimidate.
Shaq. Yeah.
Like, are you fucking high?
It was the most bizarro land bullshit. But this also causes Shaq to quit because he doesn't want anything to do with the military after this, you know. And also his friend has been injured. And so he goes home and holy shit, Ray J's in the movie. Like a 13-year-old Ray J.
Yeah. I'm like, we saw that Ray J was in it.
Yeah.
And then it took us a minute. I'm like, fuck, the little kid's Ray J.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Well, I'll be damned.
Yep. So Ray J plays the little brother Martin, I think is the name. Yeah, who knows?
No.
Truth be told, you can take him out of the movie and it didn't really change much of anything.
He's the obligatory little kid that stand in for the little kid that is watching.
Yeah.
Just to have him there to have him as a cheerleader.
Yeah, just to have there to make shit complicated. But speaking of obligatory, here is now an obligatory ad, and we'll be right back. Whether you're catching waves at the beach, bowling with your favorite group of friends, or stealing time at work, the Superhero Homies podcast has got your back. With nearly 1,000 hours in content, we're sure to keep you engaged for hours, like 1,000 of them, with our engaging, thought-provoking, mind-blowing discussions about comic books. Wait, hold on, what's that? You say you already listened to the Superhero Homies podcast? Well, how about Patreon. For $3 a month, $3 non-superhero movie reviews. Hell yeah. Video game discussions. Slap my ass. And now you get early access to new episodes. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Stop fucking around and go to patreon.com/superhero homies because you deserve it. All right, and we're back.
It never gets old. It just doesn't get old. Oh my God.
I would like to thank the sponsor of this podcast.
Yes.
Yep,
Thank you, sponsor.
Yep, very much appreciated there. All right.
This doesn't get old.
Doesn't get old.
No.
Yep. Yeah. So let's kind of fast forward here a little bit and get to Shaq becoming Steel. So before we talk about how he quote unquote become Steel, we first have to talk about the montage. But before we can talk about the montage, we have to talk about poor Sparks. Again, Sparks is the friend of Irons, you know.
Yeah. we I forgot what happens in between her getting crushed. At some point he goes
to like the VA.
To the VA rehab center to talk to her, and he's talking to her, and I'm not understanding what the fuck he's saying. But
he's trying to encourage her because she's down in the dumps because, you know, she was just in this terrible accident and she's in a slump, you know, rightfully so. And so Shaq does what any person would do. He punches a window and kidnaps her.
Before talking to this person that seems blind at first.
She doesn't look at him at all. She has that 1,000-yard stare like she can't see.
Like, just playing the perfect... Like, did she go... I legitimately asked him, like, did she go blind? What happened? I thought she got paralyzed. Did she blind herself, too?
It seems like it. But no, she's not blind at all.
She finally looks at him after, what, like 10 minutes of him talking to her?
It felt like 10 minutes. It was probably like 90 seconds. But yeah, so he takes her back to the junk cave because Richard Roundtree, yes, The OG Shaft is in this movie.
So is he does he run the junkyard that they go to?
I think Uncle Joe, Richard Roundtree, runs the runs the junkyard. They were not clear at all about that.
They weren't clear about a lot of things. That's why I have a lot of questions. So many questions.
Yeah, they're not really clear on that or on the relationship between Richard Roundtree and Shaq.
I think it's just a friend. Is like kind of just an older dude that's kind of a mentor.
How the fuck does he make all this shit? So Richard Roundtree's character in this movie, he's like Alfred mixed with Lucius Fox.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. That's so accurate. There's so much like that is just like they just take from Batman.
Oh yeah.
Just for no reason. Like
reason.
Is any of this in the comics? Like does he
no.
have?
He does not have a junk cave.
He doesn't have a junk. That's honestly kind of disappointing. I'm gonna be real honest. That's disappointing. I was hoping he had an actual junk cave.
Nope, there is no junk cave.
God damn.
But probably the most offensive, hilariously offensive scene in this movie comes when he takes Sparks to the junk cave, and there's a scene where Richard Roundtree's character, Uncle Joe, I think is his name, and Irons, they're looking on as poor Sparks tries to reach for something.
She tries to I think she's trying to use the computer for something, or tries to get. I don't know. She's doing something,
and she falls out of her fucking chair. She is a paraplegic, and she falls out of her chair. Now she's surrounded by two men who seem to be upstanding citizens, and one of them is fucking Shaq.
Yes.
And what do? They
fucking smile and laugh.
They smile and look on and let this woman struggle.
They just watch her, and they don't do anything.
They watch for like the most uncomfortable 90 seconds of the movie. We watched this lady.
I'm like, what is happening right now?
And then they start smiling at each other and nodding.
And then she starts smiling, and the whole time
it's Stockholm Syndrome. She's been kidnapped, and now she's fallen for her kidnappers.
Like, I guess this is just how it's gonna be. I guess it's gotta have fall sometimes.
And then they start the montage.
The stand-up montage.
Which says stand up. She's paralyzed.
They say stand up as they're on frame on her. And what made it even better is that we see stand up in the subtitles.
Yeah.
Like, this is just awful.
This is fucking terrible.
Like, this is a paraplegic person that is bound to, and it's just like, stand up. What? Come on. No one was aware. No one was just like, maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah. No one was like, hey guys.
I'm glad they didn't, because I wouldn't.
Oh, we had a hilariously inappropriate time with that scene.
Oh
because
my God. We're both going to hell.
Oh, we're both going to hell. But the filmmakers are going there first for making this movie.
We'll see them there.
Yeah. Yeah, we did not put that scene in this movie.
I want to know if it was supposed to be as hilarious as it was. I don't think so.
No, it was definitely not supposed to be.
They were fucking the shit-eating grin on Shaq's face when she got up. Yeah. That's different, sir.
Right.
And I was expecting them to come help her at some point. Like, for sure.
But, okay, so listen, if they want to do that scene, right, you have Shaq and Richard Roundtree immediately go to her, and then she goes, no, I got this.
Yes.
That's how you do that scene.
Exactly.
You don't smile and let the paraplegic struggle.
You at least offer.
Yeah.
Just even like, hey, you good? just a simple, hey, need any help at all? All right. You know.
Yeah. But we get none of that.
No.
Whatever we were supposed to take from that scene is lost.
It's just gone. Because I didn't even I just now put it together that they're trying to teach her to be, not teach her, but let her be independent.
Yeah.
And let her show the strength of her. No, that is completely gone from this. It's just them, just a scene of cruelty from Shaq.
It's so fucked up. So fucked
Like,
up.
very confused.
But I wish that was the only bad thing about the montage. It's not. The other bad thing about the montage is this. Apparently, somewhere along the line, Shaq decides to make a fucking super suit.
That's supposed to be made out of solid steel.
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing about this, guys. Brendon, you asked a very tremendous question. What the fuck is he making and why is he doing it? Never explained.
No!
We don't get any explanation.
Like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Like, they don't talk about it. Like, oh, you're going to need a suit or something. Did they say something?
No.
About they didn't say anything about needing a suit.
I don't remember them saying anything about making a super suit.
What the fuck?
I don't know what their reasoning is, but they just fucking do it.
And just starts making shit. I'm like, what the fuck is he making?
And then this montage has like from looking at the YouTube comments, I know a lot of people really like the song "Stand Up."
This is their time. Right
This,
here.
yeah, I mean, I know
This
you
is their
guys
favorite
love
moment.
this, yeah. But I gotta be honest, I thought that the song, it just didn't fit.
It caught me out of nowhere. I'm like, why is there gospel?
Well, you know, all of the musical numbers in this movie caught me off guard.
Yes.
The stand-up montage had me like, what the fuck is going on? And then the one previous when Shaq is going to the VA, there's a song that's played then, and I was like, is this the same fucking movie?
Oh, yes. I'm like, did we just go to an ad cut? What is
Yeah.
going on here?
I said I paid specifically for no ads.
It's just very abrupt and
Yeah.
out of nowhere. And you're just like, the whole tone, it just looked like a different place altogether. And you just didn't feel like you were watching the same thing.
Yeah. So the editing in this movie is a fucking mess. Not just for the musical cues or the montages, but in the action as well. But anyway, Shaq and team finish making this fucking ridiculous suit, and it is not worth the wait. Remember that classic scene in Iron Man 1 where they recreate the moments from the comic books where Tony and Ho Jensen are working together to try to formulate this arc reactor and build the Iron Man Mach 1 suit. And it's just this amazing moment of Tony Stark's transformation from being a literal warmonger to becoming somebody who was looking for survival, not just for survival's sake, but so he can become a better person and right the wrongs of his life. You get all of that in Tony's montage. None of that is here.
None of the single. You're just kind of just confused
Yeah.
the whole time.
Right.
Just, what is he doing? What does he make it? Like that? Is that supposed to be steel? Like that? No.
And then they save the helmet shot for last in
Oh
the montage.
my god!
They were like, we're gonna get him with this shot.
Yeah, this is gonna be the coolest fucking thing. And then you get it, and you're just like, the fuck am I looking at?
You see them bringing it out of the fire, and I'm like, put it back in the fire.
You know what he looks like? He looks like fucking Avalanche as well from the Brotherhood.
Oh, okay, I kind of see
And
that.
like-
Yeah,
Like what? Why?
yeah. You
But
said
Avalanche looks
earlier.
better.
Yeah, you said Star Kid earlier.
It looks like Star Kid for sure.
It does remind me of Star Kid as well. Yeah.
What year did that come out? That was that 97?
I better not fucking be 97. I swear to all that is holy.
That movie was actually good though.
Let's not get crazy. Fucking 97.
Oh my god!
Fucking
Oh my God.
97. I can't
The
do
year
this,
of our
man.
Lord.
97 is such a cursed year.
How dare you?
God damn
You
it,
put some
man.
spec on that
No. 97 owes me a year back from my childhood.
Did you watch them back to back? God. We need to make just a movie marathon, the year of 97.
The year of 97.
Like, I think I might jump out this goddamn window.
Yeah. Okay. So, before we get to before we talk about the the sequences of seeing Steel in action. Can we go back and talk about the first chase sequence? Quite possibly.
Oh my God! Yes, yes.
It's
most
when
boring chase sequence ever.
if you guys ever wanted to see Shaq lazily jog after a teenager with a gun who refuses to at any point shoot at Shaq except for the very end, this is the montage for you. It's the most boring chase sequence. I mean, the music doesn't do anything to hype it up.
The music is hilarious though. You like when you do hear it and you actually kind of put it together, like what this song is actually playing to this, and just like this weird, like kind of like almost elevator music, kind of like little video game menu music.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And the Shaq is just shuffling along.
It's just kind of like, I'm not expecting this giant to do full sprints, but holy shit.
But also, I'm like, there's breaks between these cuts. Like, you're not running all the way through. No. So I'm like, you can at least sprint for 15 seconds, you know? Give the illusion, you know?
Make me believe it.
And I know that you can handle it because you're a goddamn basketball player, Shaq.
Yeah, for
one of the greats. So,
but didn't he pretty much just stand under the goalpost and like, no?
I mean, he was a big power man, but he had a lot of explosive movement. You know,
well, you wouldn't be able to tell from this fucking movie. Are you shitting me?
You are damn sure right about that.
Oh my God,
you're right.
It would have been nice to have seen any of that movement.
Well, see, and that's the interesting thing, right? How earlier we talked about how Shaq was clearly cast because of his star power and popularity. Because his acting, sorry, Shaq, his acting is atrocious. I mean,
I'm sure he's aware.
He delivers lines like he is reading a cue card behind him. I mean,
I'm sure at this point he's not fondly, but very aware of his acting prowess and of what other people think.
You'd be surprised. Maybe he's not. But it's not just the fact that he can't act. He has no physical presence either. No. For someone who is 7 feet tall, he has no physical presence.
This is weird.
Yeah.
It's just very awkward and just kind of just like there's this tall thing, but like what the fuck? Like you're just wondering like what you can just see him kind of like walk around with these normal sized people and it just looks goofy.
It looks so fucking goofy. It's so out of place, right? So it's like this. In all honesty, the person whoever you decide to cast for Steel should also be able to play Luke Cage, you know, because they have very similar builds. Really? You know, like the two characters.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? In other words, I can't imagine Shaq playing fucking Luke Cage. So therefore,
yeah, I mean, Luke Cage is supposed to be a big dude, but what he's shown on screen, like if we could just get what he does on the court. He was kind of physical in Kazam.
I guess so. But in this movie, when he plays a fucking superhero.
A literal superhero.
He is so underwhelming in what he does. Like, he swings his hammer no times.
No, none. Actually, I think he might have did it once.
At somebody or at something?
I forgot.
So here's what he does, right, as Steel in this movie here. Get into the action of him in the superhero suit. If you guys remember any of the old school Ninja Turtles cartoon, the Ninja Turtles cartoon was interesting for a couple things. Here's a fun fact for you guys. The cartoon was the first time that the Ninja Turtles had different color masks. And the comic books, they all wore the same color. They did that for the children's cartoon, so to help kids differentiate the turtles from each other. That was a great move.
Yes.
But also what they did was the comic books are ultra dark and violent. They're kind of a parody on Daredevil in some ways, but they're really dark, serious, grimy comic books.
Very gory.
Very gory. The TV shows, I mean, the cartoons were not, okay?
It went the opposite way.
And so we had these more colorful turtles with brighter personalities, but they have these weapons of death. So what did they do with them? Well, first of all, the Foot Clan, they were replaced with ninjas, and I mean they were ninjas replaced with now robots, so that they couldn't
Really?
be. Yeah,
I don't remember them being robots.
they were robots.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. I'm damn.
Yep. And the other thing they did, which is in relation to what this movie we're talking about does, is instead of using their weapons directly, they were always used indirectly. So if you had Leonardo with his katanas, fucking weapons of death,
There's swords.
Yeah.
For stabbing.
he would never cut
No.
one of the Foot Klansmen, even though they were robots.
He
'cause
wouldn't even
that's-
swing it at him.
Yeah, no, that's a depiction of violence. Instead, he would cut a rope, and the rope would be attached to a sandbag above, and the sandbag would fall and land on the Foot
Even
Klansman.
though that's almost more violent. I'd rather you just cut me with a sword, damn it.
They did that to skirt around the usage of violence and the depiction of weaponry like that.
They actually also did that in the live action movies as well.
They did, yeah.
Especially in the second one.
But at least in the live action movies, we did get to see them do martial arts.
Yeah.
Did
they not do martial arts in the cartoon?
Not really.
I
It
remember
was
as a kid, but
it was technically before our generation. That's like for the young Gen Xers, really.
yeah. I
But
remember watching some of it.
yeah,
just
we,
not
we
a whole
caught
lot of it.
we caught the reruns.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's exactly what Steele does in this movie here. He has this big ass fucking sledgehammer that he never uses as a sledgehammer to bludgeon people with.
No.
I mean, listen, they could have gone the cartoon route where he hits somebody with it and they go flying. Yeah.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But instead, he uses it as a gun.
They had so many opportunities to make cool, cheesy 90s fight scenes. But instead, they do the worst approach, which is, in most of the fight scenes, he is literally standing still. No pun intended. Standing still. You get it. You get it.
I see what you did. Boo, no.
In most of the fight scenes, he's standing almost completely still, and everybody's coming towards him, and he's doing the "I'm gonna throw you" or like "I'm gonna trip you up," and it's so
Something.
sophomoric.
It's just like the most like phoned in, like,
mundane.
Like,
Yeah.
like why make this? Why did you even make him have a hammer?
Yeah.
If you're just gonna like give him a gun, like make it a rifle. And it does everything.
Yeah. His hammer does everything except for smack people.
For be a fucking hammer.
Yeah. Imagine watching like the Thor movies or Thor and the Avengers, and he never swings that goddamn hammer at anybody.
No, he starts using it as a gun.
Yeah.
Shit just starts coming out of it, and it's just like it's a Swiss Army blade.
Right.
Like, what is happening? Why?
Shaq doesn't do a goddamn thing.
No, he kicks. He does a kick in the suit, and it's the most fucking.
It's
Oh my God.
so bad. It's so bad. And it almost seems like Shaq wanted to do his own. Okay, here's what happened, right? Here's what I think happened. Shaq got on set and he said, okay, I want to be this superhero. Check. He's an executive producer, so he could have maybe pulled this off. And then I think he said, I want to do all of my own stunts. And then he got on set and realized, I don't want to do my own stunts. But now there's no stuntman, so he has to.
Just start just doing random shit and just like, did he actually kick the dude?
I doubt it. Who knows? And then on top of that, the editing doesn't really help either. Good editing is supposed to hide the flaws of actors, you know what I mean? To kind of cover up their faults.
Just put it front and center.
Yeah.
It's just like, look at this shit.
Yeah, look at this terrible
This
shit.
dumb shit right here.
And then we get another terrible chase sequence. We actually get like 3 chase sequences in this goddamn movie.
You do.
And so what happens next is that like we see the police come after Shaq because again they want him to be Black Batman so damn bad in this movie.
Yeah, apparently.
So the police are after him now, and he grapples. He's got a
He's
grapple.
a fucking grapple gun. He does. Oh my God. He is supposed to be Batman.
Yeah. And the grapple goes like half a mile per hour, and the cops are looking at him, guns drawn.
And just like, oh, well. Even one guy's like, oh, I guess that's one way going up, or some stupid line.
I'm like, as slow as that grappling hook is going, you could have gone in the building, taken the stairs, and beat him to the roof.
It was going so slow, and there's no way in hell that grapple gun would hold big ass.
At least they got the memo on like when he tried to rappel down. And
like finally, like.
So this,
conveniently,
I would love for them to explain this scene though. So he tries to rappel down the other side of the building, right? And the cord breaks, and he conveniently falls into a trash can that has nothing but soft tissue in it, like newspaper,
like trash bags and boxes, and safe stuff.
He gets out of the trash can and immediately hops onto his super-powered motorcycle, which thankfully happened to be right there.
Did we even see them? Like, is this like a custom motorcycle that was made for him?
Had to have been, yeah, because it's got a mount for the hammer, and it's got
So he just happened to have it right here. Just did he plan and just put it right here? Like, I'm gonna park it right here behind this fucking dumpster.
That had to have been it, I guess, and. Maybe I should give the movie the benefit of the doubt and say that that's where he was trying to go the whole time.
Yeah. I'm sure he wasn't trying to fall, but...
Yeah.
As funny as it was.
And then...
No, we gotta talk about the actual fall. Oh my... As he's falling into the air.
Oh, as he's falling, yeah.
Yeah, it's the slowest goddamn fall ever.
For a man who weighs 300 plus pounds...
300, like over 350 at best.
He probably is now, but back then he was a lot thinner. Yeah, he was
okay. I'll give him that.
Still a big man, but I mean, for a man that fucking massive as he is plummeting, he's actually falling like a goddamn feather. he was falling in slow motion.
He's in slow fall.
Yeah, just falling in slow motion. Arms are flailing. Yeah, almost like he's trying to DJ at the same time as he's falling.
Going back to Kazam.
Yeah.
And he's trying to yell, and for whatever reason, he can't. This man can't raise his voice to save his life. Literally, to save
his life. Literally, yeah.
He can't. His voice is always at the same octave.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Doesn't matter what you do.
I can't imagine someone just kicked him in the nuts.
What would happen? Yeah.
What would happen? What would went out?
Well, the actual motorcycle chase scene, one of two that we get in this fucking atrocious movie.
God, that is two.
As a kid, I never noticed. I was 9. But as a nearly 35-year-old man, it is painfully obvious Shaquille O'Neal is not on that goddamn motorcycle.
No. There's a man half his fucking size on that damn motorcycle. Because that motorcycle would have looked like a damn child's toy.
Right.
With him under it.
Yeah, it would have looked like he was rollerblading if Shaquille O'Neal was actually on that motorcycle.
It would have looked like one of those damn mini bikes.
Yeah.
The little fucking crotch rockets that are supposed to be small. That's what it looks like. No. And he just looked like a normal dude in armor.
Yep. Every time you get a quote-unquote shot of Shaq on a motorcycle, it's always from like the face up. Like the chest up. So you never actually see him on the motorcycle.
You see a prop or something like a rig that is shaped like a motorcycle.
Yeah, that is clearly pulling his big ass. Yeah. But you don't see him on the motorcycle. And the times when you do see him on the motorcycle, it is not him.
Yeah. And
it's like clearly a stuntman.
From the back.
Yeah. It's like a 5'9" stuntman. And I'm like, good fucking grief.
Like, y'all didn't even try.
He didn't even try with this.
You could have got someone that was somewhat close to his size.
Yeah.
Someone.
So kind of find out, the major plot here of this movie is the douchebag from the beginning of the movie who turned the sound emitter weapon all the way up and caused the accident to happen. He is trying to sell and produce illegal munitions to be an illegal... He's the Obadiah Stane from Iron Man 1.
So they're trying to This literally is like Iron Man and Batman
yeah.
put into one guy.
Yes.
The fuck? Oh my god. That's another thing. Like, if you're going to use an actual comic book character, use an actual comic book villain.
Please.
There's no reason not to.
But I mean, come on, Brendon. Like, I had to convince you that this was based on the comic book character.
I know, but like at least I could have gone back and like, oh, this villain, okay, you know, I can see somewhat where they were going with it. No, just douchebag number 5.
I have a theory behind that about why Hollywood was so distant to make comic book adaptations, and I think it's because they view comic books as an extremely low form of media and entertainment.
They do. They're a bunch of snotty bitches.
That's exactly what it is. I think for so long they were like, well,
that's kid stuff.
That's kid stuff.
You leave that to the cartoons,
right? Yeah, that's so fantastical, nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense, and we're gonna take that and we're gonna make it better. We're
highbrow.
Yeah, we're highbrow. Yeah, and then they churn out ass every time. You know,
and then that's why, and then that just reinforces their kind of thinking, like, oh, they never do any good.
Yeah, nobody wants to see superhero movies. They never do any good, you know. And then, you know, lo and behold, when people are faithful to the, to the pages or to the character integrity,
billions.
You
gotta put your pinky up.
Yeah,
billions of dollars.
I remember just seeing how fucking shocked and how puckered their assholes were back in the day when Spider-Man 1 made like $680 million.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, what in the fuck?
I'm like, what? Fucking Spider-Man?
Spider, what?
What? Spider who?
Yeah, that Sam Raimi superhero movie? Are you serious?
What?
Yeah. Really took people by surprise, that one did. But anyways, Shaq, or still, this movie suffers from like the same shit that basically every single movie apparently in 1997 suffered from. Back to Nathaniel, the bad guy here. His whole plan here is to sell these illegal munitions, but he's not doing it for money. And I'm glad they included this line because he's been robbing these banks for $500 million, if you can believe that.
that fit in one small suitcase.
Yeah. Again, maybe all these superhero movies are copying Steel. Because think about The Dark Knight and about how they robbed
God. Are you shitting me?
And the motorcycle scene. Hey, all of our great superhero movies have been copying Steel.
This whole time. Just copying this classic.
Yeah. The whole idea to take Alfred and Lucius, they took
it
and made them into two. Yeah.
They split the characters.
Yep.
This guy makes the stuff, and this guy is the mentor.
Right. They were ahead of the game.
Holy shit.
Still was just ahead of his time.
Yeah. And it's an instant classic, and everybody's trying to be the copycat of it.
Yeah.
Like, they're the pretenders, not Steel.
Oh, absolutely.
Not Shaq and Steel. He's the pioneer.
The MCU, like they watched this movie too, and they were like, oh, well, we can have plenty of ideas for, Iron Man 1. Jon Favreau saw Steel.
We have a character with a hammer.
We have a character who wears a suit. We'll make.
We can split this character off into 3 different characters. This guy was a soldier. This guy makes weapons for the military.
Oh yeah.
This guy has a hammer.
Perfect. They'll never know. DC will never know we stole their best character movie. Holy shit. But Nathaniel, the douchebag bad guy here, his plan is not just for money, because as one of the other henchmen from a rival gang says, you have plenty of money because he's been robbing these fucking banks blind. He's doing this for power because he wants to be power. He wants to be the source of munitions that all these gangs and militaries go to when wartime comes. And I'm like, that would be corny as fuck if it wasn't eerily true. Yeah. If we didn't actually have militaristic arms dealers who like to make these weapons, sell them to us and the competition just so they can make a profit. It's a win-win situation.
It's definitely a trope that's unfortunately a true one.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately just comes across as a very common thing in the world.
Super common, unfortunately. The last final showdown is as uninspiring as the rest of the movie is. Still shows up in that stupid ass suit. He gets laid out immediately with another sound gun, right? And then he lays there for like 5 minutes.
Yes.
That's the villain monologue.
Oh my god. Is this the one that shoots a fireball or
It's right before that.
Yeah, this is before that.
Yeah,
and he just lays there.
He lays there as the villainous monologue. And so I'm gonna just to paint the picture here for the homies listening. Shaq is on like the second floor balcony looking down on Nathaniel as he's doing the villain auctioneer thing for the weapons. There's a goon behind Steel, unbeknownst to Steel, and he shoots Steel with the sound gun, and the sound gun blasts Steel off the second floor balcony right next to the big bad villain Nathaniel. And Shaq or Steel reaches out for the hammer, and Nathaniel steps on it, brings out Sparky. They kidnapped her.
I'm like, he's got the collateral on you.
Got the collateral damage, always a crucial element. And then he still does this incredibly overused fucking trope of an idea that
after he stands up and
after like the 5 minutes,
just after he's got done laying there like a damn lady about to just trying to coerce him to lay down with him or something.
He lays there like he's defenseless for like 5 minutes.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah,
like a damsel in distress has just been just can't do anything. Bro.
And then he does like not even reverse psychology 101.
He does a Bugs Bunny.
It's a Bugs Bunny.
It's a fucking straight up Bugs Bunny thing.
So remember, guys, in the beginning of the movie, Nathaniel takes the sound emitter weapon that they were testing, and he turns it all the way up, and still tells him, no, don't do that at the beginning of the movie. And so now, Still again tells him, no, you have my hammer. Whatever you do, don't press the red button.
Don't press the red button.
And they're just
wink, nudge, nudge. Audience, he's gonna press the red button.
They're hamming it up so much, right? Because obviously Nathaniel's gonna see what this weapon can really do. And so what does he do? He eventually presses the red button after milking it. And it's the magnet attachment.
It's the magnet.
Yeah.
After just all of that.
So here's why that was pointless, though.
He could have reached out.
He could have reached over and just took the fucking hammer from him.
You're 7 feet 2, motherfucker. Just reach.
You have a reach. You have like a fucking 5 foot reach span.
I guess he was afraid of getting shot again. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something.
It was unnecessarily dumb. That perfectly describes this movie. Unnecessarily dumb. Oh, okay. And so then we get the rest of this uninspired fight scene.
Oh my God.
And how does Nathaniel get taken out? He gets shot.
It's
it's the dumbest shit ever because Nathaniel shoots the sound gun at Shaq. It bounces off of his ass.
It does.
It turns into a fireball.
It turns into a fireball for no reason. Unless did it come out as a fireball?
It didn't look like it. I could be wrong.
It looked like the sound wave. It came out as it does normally, and then it bounces off and and catches on fire and turns into this weird fireball for some reason.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Mm-hmm. What? When did it shoot fireballs?
Yeah, and that takes out the bad guy. And if I'm being honest, I don't remember if he died, went to jail, or escaped and they couldn't find him. I don't remember. Quite frankly, by that point, I didn't give a shit.
Just checked out.
I was so checked out.
Just done. I'm done with this shit.
I'm done with this
I'm
fucking
done.
movie.
I don't care what happens next. Some bullshit. Fuck this movie.
Fuck this goddamn movie.
This goddamn movie. I don't give a fuck about
Yeah.
anything else.
Oh, and the way the movie ends is Shaq's grandma. She opens up her restaurant, Black and Blue, which this movie was definitely written by a goddamn white person. God damn it. Black and Blue. Okay. And she opens up her restaurant. And she... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, guys. She serves
For fuck's
her...
sake.
Yeah. She serves this souffle. She's been trying to make the entire movie, and you know everyone has a nice warm moment, and then Sparky, I almost called her Spazzy. Sparky.
That would have been so great. Her name was Spazzy. That's a mean twitch you got there, lady. Yeah. Fucking Spazzy.
Spazzy.
That's a new superhero.
Yeah. Spazzy. Okay. Goddamn, we're so close. We're almost there. We're almost there.
My bad.
Fucking
You
Sparky.
said it. You said it. You could have kept that to yourself, but no.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to jump on that one.
What did you expect?
You
sir?
could have let it go.
What did you expect? No, I'm not. No, bro. You expect too much of me. Are you serious?
Sparky. She
Sparky.
presses a button on her wheelchair, and
This is after Shaq gets up and just like looks like he's about to propose to her or something like that.
well, no, she says, I don't remember what the fuck she says, but
Dude, I did not pay attention to
Yeah.
half this dialogue.
yeah, but the wheelchair then proceeds to transform with her in it.
Transforms. No. I mean,
That's what it does.
as the music is swelling, it just transforms and Jesus just flies off. Like, what the fuck?
Shaq-
She's a superhero now too?
Yeah, Shaq, what the fuck just happened here? But no, the chair transforms into like a platform that allows her to quote unquote
Stand up. And then the music, the theme song, Stand Up, starts playing.
starts playing again. Oh,
And I'm like, I still don't know if this is appropriate.
it's because it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not.
It still was funny though.
And then also, right? What was their relationship?
I think just good friends with a weird ET handshake.
Was still gay? Because the more I think about it, he kind
It's a
of
good possibility. There was no sexual tension
whatsoever.
at all.
And I'm not here, trying to say that there can't be, relations between men and women that are
It's
non-sexual.
platonic.
Yeah, there can be platonic relationships for sure.
Yeah.
But there was just something about the weird energy. Maybe it was just the lack of chemistry they had on screen.
Just awkwardness between the both of them.
Yeah.
Shaq and like it was definitely odd. Like I think they were just supposed to be like the most I got from them is coworkers, like that were good friends.
That's what it kind of yeah.
And it's just like, what, like was there supposed to be any kind of romantic plot?
Right, because I'm like, it seems like because there's not a will they won't they energy.
No.
That's not there.
No.
But it also feels like Shaq's performance at times when he's on screen with her, he's almost giving up the gay best friend vibe.
It's like standoffish and kind of like she's trying to, come on to him, and he's like, doesn't interest me.
Yeah, it's just a weird dynamic here, and I think it just comes down to the lack of chemistry.
It's something.
Yeah,
Something going on there.
there's a lack of something for sure. Brendon, what are your final thoughts here on this movie?
Oh my god.
Is this the greatest movie you've ever seen?
The fucking best. I will say that I will give this movie two things. That it didn't use any computer-generated effects that were laughably horrible. Everything was...
It had a budget of $16 million.
I'm trying. I'm trying here, man. Fuck.
And I think maybe $8 million of that must have went to Shaq.
Yeah, of course. You gotta get paid.
Yeah.
But everything was practical, unfortunately.
Okay, true. Yep.
That fucking suit, you could tell that shit was not metal even a little bit. The suit, like, we left this part out, when he had the helmet on and he spoke, the sides of the helmet would flex with the rest of his face when he spoke. I'm like, am I still supposed to believe that this is fucking solid steel?
It clearly was not.
Even the parts on his body, like, would flex and give, and especially even when the money shot, when he puts it on, like the one piece, big piece on, it flexes just very slightly, and it just, like, you can tell that it's not even partly metal. It
doesn't look metal. And here's, like, okay, so I know you guys are probably thinking, well, calm down, Brendon and Q. This was made in 97, okay? RoboCop was made 10 years before that.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
There is no excuse.
None. And that's all practical, too.
Yeah.
Or in stop motion, which practical.
ED 209 was stop motion, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you gonna do? Build a giant fucking crazy gun robot, Yeah. But I mean, we just say all that to say there are ways to make this shit better.
There are. They did not.
There's been plenty of amazing movies made with shoestring budgets. And what a shoestring budget normally does is it will expose that you either have a lack of creativity or interest, or
talent.
Or talent. Yeah, or the other way, it's going to show that you're going to step up to the plate and be extremely creative with how you use this budget.
I would normally call it a cash grab, but it's fucking steel. Like, no one really knows that much. Like, unless you're a comic guy at the time.
That's true. You would have to be a comic guy. Because, okay, so the death of Superman happened in 1993, I believe. And this movie came out in 97. So we got a 4-year gap here to play with.
I still can't believe this is the same fucking character. I'm still fucking flabbergasted. Because I remember seeing this as a kid. And I'm like, what the fuck is this random ass steel? What? I still can't, and then I'm picture the actual comic steel in my mind, and it's like, there's no fucking way this is the same character.
Yeah, yeah.
I still don't believe you.
I know, I know. You know what? And I don't even blame you. I remember I was, and this is a small story, and then we'll wrap up here. But I remember when I was a kid, right? I did a lot when I was a kid, mostly watch movies. When I was a kid, I was so into comic books that I remember reading Starman comic books. My uncle gave me a bunch of them as a kid. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah, Starman. Like, yeah, this guy's really cool. I like this comic book. Unbeknownst to me, right, there was a movie that came out, I think in like the mid-'80s, called Starman. And I think Jeff Bridges or Kurt Russell? One of those two, I think, was the lead.
Either one.
Yeah. One of those two was the lead in a movie called Starman. I watched that entire movie looking for the scene where, like, he suits up and he's going to, be Starman.
There's so many superhero movies that are like that.
Well, it actually was just a movie that coincidentally was called Starman. It didn't have anything to do with the comic book Starman. So I watched that. Yeah. Yeah, I watched that entire movie just to be blueballed because I thought that it was going to be about the comic book character. It was not.
You poor bastard.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Damn it.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, I would also, the second thing I was going to say, it did not traumatize me like fucking Howard the Duck did to Oz.
Okay, if I can be honest, that was my goal.
At least you weren't trying to traumatize me. I don't know if you could. As much as the
I'll
horrible
try.
shit that I watch.
I'll try harder next time, but it's gonna be hard to beat still.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be hard to beat.
It didn't scar me for life. Like it was a good old time and laughing at this fucking.
Oh, I'll
90s.
find something.
Oh
And
god.
unfortunately, it won't be Double Team because Double Team, it probably isn't a good movie like I remember it is. I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I was always a Jean-Claude Van Damme mark, but it's better than 90% of the shit that we've talked about here recently.
And so you remember.
And so I remember. So that means it's
So you
probably
might
awful.
traumatize yourself.
I might, yeah. It's possible. I'm prepared for that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, so was this like you saw this movie when you were a kid? I did not.
Yeah.
So was this better, worse? I'm guessing worse.
Oh, well, so here's the thing, right? Fortunately, when I was a kid, I was very well aware that this movie was terrible.
Oh,
I didn't like it as a
Really?
kid.
Okay.
I just watched it because it was all I had to watch. Somehow it got worse as I got older.
fair enough. Did you remember all the parts, like any of the parts, or
So
did you just like
you
have,
know
like,
what I remember? I remember seeing Sparky stand up at the end.
You mean Spazzy?
I remember seeing Spazzy stand up at the end.
That's all you remember?
I remember that ridiculous outfit that he had on. But yeah, that's all I remember because as a kid, you have to remember what stands out to kids in superhero movies are funny moments, cool one-liners, and the action sequences. This movie doesn't have any of that. So what was I supposed to remember?
I mean, even if it did have the one-liners, you couldn't hear them.
Couldn't make them out.
Couldn't be like what? Shaq, speak up!
Yeah.
God damn it, man! And then the
Not
one
great.
guy.
Yeah, the henchman who they killed with the grenade. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about how Steel just killed people in this movie straight up. Like,
Was he not supposed to?
I mean, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know what Steel did in the comics.
They just kind of ignored that factoid in the movie, though. You know, like they were like, okay, well,
It's off screen.
yeah, it's off screen, doesn't really matter.
They're not dead. They're just horribly
Well,
maimed.
you know what I think? I don't think that he really killed anybody in this movie, but he definitely killed that guy with a grenade.
Fuck it, he did. Fuck that poor guy.
No. Poor deep voiced guy. Come on, you're supposed to end black on black violence, not create more of it.
God
damn it, man.
Damn it, man.
You got anything else on Steel before we wrap up here?
No. Can't think of anything else. I had a good time.
You know, I think that we've been sitting here for 2 hours reviewing this movie.
Really?
Yeah, that's how long we've been sitting here. So it's time to end this thing and stand up.
They say when there's trouble, play it safe and walk away. But I don't mind that. Let me tell you what I say stand up. Stand up. You gotta do what
That is going to be all for now, guys. Thank you guys for listening again. This has been a great time, even if the movie wasn't so great. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. But this would be all for now. So until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I'm still just Brendon.
you have.